Let's not bury the lead this morning. Andrej Karpathy is leaving OpenAI. Is it too much to hope that he might be coming back to Tesla? Well, one can dream, but here's what he had to say about the situation, and he posted yesterday on X. Hi, everyone. Yes, I left OpenAI yesterday. First of all, nothing happened, and it's not the result of any particular event, issue, or drama, but please keep the conspiracy theories coming as they're highly entertaining. Actually, being at OpenAI over the last year has been really great. The team is really strong, the people are wonderful, and the roadmap is very exciting. I think we all have a lot to look forward to. My immediate plan is to work on my personal projects and see what happens. Those of you who follow me for a while may have a sense of what that might look like. And I went back and looked over his various posts again, and he's got some very strong interest in certain areas, but I'm guessing there are other potential ways that his life might go. He's going to be pretty much under demand. Anyway, like I said, maybe it could happen. All right. Tesla, as of my last look, was outperforming the market this morning as things bounce back, as was to be expected. Don't know if that'll be true all day, but we'll see what happens. All right. This is Randy Kirk. Please hit the like, subscribe, and notify all that stuff like you normally do. Later today, Scott Walter will be bringing us up to date. We're going to try to do that once a week, just have a general conversation around the bots, around the competition of the bots, what they're doing, not because we're worried about the competition, because it's interesting what the competition is doing. And I'm sure that Tesla is getting lots of lessons from seeing what the other folks are doing. And then we'll have Jeff Lutz, of course, as always, on Wednesday night, helping us with Good News Wednesday. And then, yes, of course, we'd love to have you buy some Cybertruck bottle openers, and we'd love to have you joining Patreon. All right. Let me start with I got wrong department. Yes, a correction. I said last night that there was a ton of reports such as housing starts and that kind of stuff today. No, that was incorrect. Zip zero today. There's nothing today. The long list of reports that I was remembering is tomorrow. We have initial jobless claims, Empire State Manufacturing Survey, Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey, Import Price Index, U.S. retail sales minus autos, industrial production, capacity utilization, and the Home Builder Confidence Index. Other than that, there's nothing tomorrow that could affect markets. All right, let's see here. The Model 3 Plus delivery dates in the U.S. have been pushed back another month, and the price of the long range has been increased by $500. This is starting to look like demand improvement rather than supply constraint, but nothing conclusive yet. I keep listening, waiting, hoping somebody's going to let us know that, in fact, they're building a bunch of these, and yet there's more demand, but nothing yet. So I'll let you know as soon as I hear something. All right, then we've got what's called the Relative Strength Index. You've probably heard of this, where stocks are, their momentum is checked. And according to micro to macro, with that, and that's a zero on the end as opposed to an O, only 3 other times in Tesla's history has the weekly RSI been lower than it is now. Tesla is oversold based on historic trends for Tesla. All right, so take that for what it's worth. A rather late update to the Can FSD Kill Story from yesterday. This from Elon Musk. He was not on FSD. The software had unfortunately never been downloaded. I say unfortunately because the accident probably would not have happened if FSD had been engaged. But Elon, this speaks to the whole PR department thing again. This information, if the Washington Post would have called you guys, they would call and say, do you guys have anything to say about the story? You would have said what you just said, and they probably wouldn't have even run the story. Anyway, yeah. So I think Gary Black is among the smartest guys in our community, but I just can't help commenting on this one. He says, in my opinion, Tesla management has learned that cutting prices in excess of cost of goods sold declines gets them no incremental volume, since competitors can all match any declines, leaving everyone worse off. Combined with likely increasing FSD take rates as FSD starts to approach LA autonomy, it's becoming more and more apparent that auto gross margins have bottomed. Well, okay, number one, the drop in price, even if the other BEVs all drop their price, does create a more competitive price vis-a-vis the ICE vehicles that are the real competition. Now, if all of the ICE cars also drop their price, he might have a leg to stand on, but that's not what's happened. Some of the BEVs drop their prices, but not the ICE cars. So that makes Tesla more competitive against the ICE competition. Second, not all competitors have the ability to keep up with the cuts without going bankrupt. Tesla can drop their prices another huge amount and still be a leader in margins. But quite frankly, that isn't the goal for Tesla. Tesla's not trying to put the other BEV folks out of business. They're trying to put the ICE cars out of business. And they're also trying to keep factory utilization up. The other thing Gary seems to forget in this analysis is if you keep your factory humming at full production, the cost per unit goes down because there's a factory utilization cost that goes into every single car. All right. This is a big one. Listen on here now. Herbert Ong puts this out this morning. Adam Jonas says this morning they just came back from a bull bear lunch, and Tesla was on the conversation list. And it was one of their most bearish Tesla bull bear lunches for admittedly understandable reasons. Some doubting if sales grow at all this year. I think that's an absolute stupid idea. Of course, they're going to grow. And if it's 2.1 million, that's still a fairly significant increase over 1.8. Most see consensus falling and AI, artificial, off the table for now, meaning among institutional investors. I hear what you're saying. Despite the overall tone of the lunch, we remain overweight, with Tesla offering over an 80% upside on the current levels, which we believe is compelling in proportion to the investment level within our U.S. auto coverage. Separately, our perception survey revealed rather mixed options on the Tesla brand. A summary of their thoughts. Number one, bearish overall sentiment. We expect bearishness from institutional investors given recent negative sentiment on the name, but there was barely any attempt to argue for a near-term bull case. From our read of the room, it seemed that everyone felt the stock would underperform over the next 6 months. Almost everyone felt the stock would underperform even over the next 12 months. We acknowledge full year 24 will be a challenging year for the global auto industry, which is reflected in our estimates. Number two, AI narrative versus auto narrative. Elon Musk is seen as sidelining Tesla from the AI theme for 2024, allowing investors to focus on their deteriorating EV demand narrative. What? What does that even mean? Elon is talking about AI all the time, and maybe maybe should be going the other way. Maybe he should be talking more about the cars. At the same time, an improving EV narrative is seen as a prerequisite for investors to underwrite the AI story. So they don't even want to talk about, the idea here is they don't even want to talk about AI. They don't even want to talk about Tesla until the EV story improves. Number three, Tesla versus Magnificent Six. With so many institutional plays focused on AI momentum beneficiaries, what may not be appreciated is the potential for Tesla to be not just excluded from the AI trade, but actually on the other side of the AI trade. Just again, complete nonsense. Anybody that's paying any attention knows that Tesla is a major AI player, but a lot of these people don't pay attention. That becomes the problem. Number four, no revenue growth. Investors question whether there was a possibility that Tesla may not grow volume versus the fourth quarter run rate of 2 million units. Could Tesla even show declining sequential or year-over-year unit growth this year? For a name where its management team was recently targeting 50% top-line CAGR, the change in sentiment on growth was not lost on the group. Did they talk about energy storage? Did they talk about, well, okay, maybe number five here. Where do the numbers bottom? We reminded the group that our full year 24 EPS forecast stands at $2.04 non-GAAP versus consensus of over $3 a share. While there's little to no pushback on our forecast, which we think is in line with institutional expectations, the group nevertheless felt the stock would react negatively to potential further negative consensus earning revisions, which might be coming down closer to their number. Despite the bearish feedback, we remain overweight with a 345 price target. our thesis on Tesla is both an auto stock and an energy AI robotics company. In fact, our valuation of the core auto business, $75 a share, represents just 22% of our $345 price target, revised down in January from $380 previously. Negative developments in the global EV market very much matter in Tesla and should reasonably have a negative near-term impact on the price of the stock. At the same time, however, we believe investors should not ignore the continued developments of Tesla's other plays, many of which are auto-related, for instance, or i.e., the recurring revenue opportunity from the Tesla fleet, embedded in our Tesla network services valuation, and other areas that we do not include within our 345 target, but that the market may include, such as Optimus. We expect to learn much more about Optimus during the 2024 Tesla AI Day, date to be determined. Of course, I believe it will be on April 20th. Separately, given the recent negative sentiment around Tesla, our AlphaWise team included the following 2 questions in a January 2024 Wave of the Consumer Pulse survey. In general, what is your current overall perception of the Tesla brand? Question 2, how important or not is the reputation of Tesla's CEO Elon Musk in your overall view of the Tesla brand? Mixed perceptions on Tesla and Musk. In general, consumers were split on Tesla's brand perception, 1/3 negative, 1/3 positive, while 43% consider Musk's reputation to be important to their overall view of the Tesla brand. Not surprisingly, EV owners, a very low sample, only 53 people, by far tended to display higher affinity toward the Tesla brand, followed by hybrid vehicle owners. So even the hybrid vehicle owners had a better perception of Elon and Tesla. Younger, more affluent, and male consumers also skewed higher on brand perception versus older and female consumers. Those cohorts with higher brand perception of Tesla tend to rely heavily on Musk's reputation in informing the brand reputation. Okay, it turns out the female, at least, I don't know about older consumers, but female consumers have been shown to be much more concerned about getting stranded as a result of not having available charging facilities. All right, this comes from Barron's and similar to helps us with the story above. Analysts don't change just one estimate at a time. Wall Street's 2025 earnings estimates are down as well, roughly 20% lower since the start of the year. Taking a longer view, 2025 estimates peaked north of $8 a share in December 2022. They are now down 50% to $4.23 a share. I think it'll be between those two. Tesla stock has fallen 55% from all-time closing high of just under $410 a share, reached in November 2021. So somebody could say, look, here you go. Estimates for 2025, 2 years out, is now down 50%. Why wouldn't the stock be down 50%? Listen, I'm not going to totally argue with that. Trueflation is at $1.39% again this morning. I would think it's smart of them. I think Trueflation should produce a post that explains why they got it so wrong. Many are saying that they believe Trueflation more than they believe the CPI reporting from the government. I get that, but they were trying to estimate the government CPI's print, and they missed it by a ton. Why? They should put out a post. The other question from the thumping that the market took yesterday is why this one data point shook the markets up so much. Federal data has been horrific lately. I'm sure if you listen to this channel, you know how much the government has been missing over and over again on the numbers. And I'm inclined to believe that this was one more case of government incompetence in reporting. So, why doesn't CPI say that? Why doesn't CPI Trueflation give us some indication of what they think took place yesterday? That would be very, very helpful. All right, where are the markets now? Let's take a look here. We have Tesla is currently up 0.66%, which is $1.21, and that is ahead of pretty much everybody in the So the Dow is up $66, NASDAQ up $91, S&P up $25, actually just changed to 27, and then Tesla is up $1.32 on a percentage basis. That's a Dow up 19.19, NASDAQ up 0.61, S&P up 0.55, and Tesla up just 0.65, which is more than any of the indices, but not nearly its delta. Yesterday, it didn't go down as much as the delta, and this morning, it is not going up as much as its normal delta. But all the rest, Google, Amazon, some of the Apple's down, Microsoft's down, Meta is up more than Tesla, Nvidia's up more, but in general, Tesla's slightly beating the market this morning. Not as much as the Cathie Woods are up stronger. They were down stronger yesterday. They are back up much stronger today, and than even Tesla. So as we can conjecture, of course, the bonds, US 10-year is down 2 basis points. That's not much of a recovery. Right now, it's 2.3 basis points. The rest of the long terms are down even more than that. So that would mean that we're shrinking the inversion a little bit on the 2-year versus the 10-year. So a little bit of shrinkage there, down to about 30 basis points. The 2-month and 3-month are down a similar amount. So those are down, those are about, I mean, the 2-month is down 0.8 of a basis point, and the 3-month is 1.3. All right, let's take a look at the oil stocks. The oil stocks up 75 cents to 78.62. Now, this is a little bit stronger, just a little bit above. As Israel this morning, it says, is launching strikes into Lebanon. I had not seen that headline. Are these significant strikes? Is this what's causing oil to go up? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm just reporting exactly the headline. I have not done any research into this. But look at this. Natural gas down another 2.31%, down to $1.65. I'm going to promise you that I'm going to do some research later today on natural gas. How low can it go? Is this really, really as crazy as it looks? Because that, I think we must be getting close to a 50% drop over just the last couple of months. All right, we got the dollar rises because of hot inflation. And we've got the gold is down again, 550. Again, 2001, just about to go below 2000. We've got copper up a little bit this morning, just a tad, 0.09%. We have got crypto. Now, here's some news for you. Up 2,500 this morning, 5% on the day to 51,871. Wow, that's I don't know anything about crypto. I've never invested in any cryptos. I know anything about Bitcoin. I'm just following it on a day-to-day basis like you. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, let us go back and check out Tesla again to see if there's been any change in direction or anything there in that few minutes. And we have Tesla still up 67 cents, going like this right now, okay? But all in the green so far today. All right. So yesterday, I did a video with Brian White. You'll want to go back and check it out. If you didn't look at it yesterday, we covered a bunch of topics, primarily energy storage and Optimus. And I will put, of course, a card right up here for you. And then later on today, as mentioned, how much more exciting can it be than Scott Walters coming on and then Jeff Lutz? I mean, what a combination for the rest of today. Be sure and tune in. That's why you hit the notify button, so you're reminded all the time. And that's why you hit, of course, subscribe, because you can't hit notify until you hit subscribe. And then you hit like because you liked what you just heard. There was some good news in there. There was some interesting news in there. Even, and yeah, just do it. And join Patreon. Buy some Cybertruck bottle openers, and we will see you many more times today. It has been great talking to you.